Hey, yo, all right, Tuesday night. I don't have a really big presentation for you guys tonight or anything, but I do have a topic. If anybody's watching or tuning in on the replay, that I think this is called the most important decision you'll ever make in Strongman. And what is it? It's not the decision of whether or not you're going to do drugs or whether or not you're going to use a certain type of lifting belt or what gym you're going to go to, but the decision is, what do you want for your end destination in this sport? Okay, it's very simple sounding at its surface, but I'm talking about making a finite decision about where you want to end up. Okay, now there's all sorts of things that we can do in this sport, right? Like, what do you really want out of it? And I'm just going to share my own story to give you an example of what I'm talking about. All right, so I made a decision about 2.5 years ago that I did indeed want to be among the very best in the sport. So what does that mean? That means that I had to get to the official Strongman games, and I have really only been focused on doing that the entire time. And because that has been my goal, everything that I need to be there just automatically falls into line, right? So what does it mean? It means I want to be the best. That means I need a coach to objectively tell me what I'm doing wrong, what I need to work on, and what I need to improve, not just now, but for 6 months, 12 months, 18, 2 years, 3 years, and beyond. And it means he needs to keep tweaking as we go along. As I got further into this, I understood, like, okay, well, I need to have somebody taking control of my nutrition as well. So all of these things just kind of go into line as soon as you have a fixed, focused endpoint on what you want to do and what you want to achieve. Now, not everybody needs to go to the very tip top of the sport, nor do they want to, and that's okay. What if you are just somebody that wants to compete regularly and look for fun competitions? Well, that, again, is going to give you a whole set of variables about what you do with your life, how you train, what you train for, and this and that, So when I am going in for big, serious competitions, like, I have to peak up, and there comes a lot with that. So that comes with, honestly, PED use, supplements. I have to master my sleep. I have to cut way back on my social life, not out, but, I have to be pretty militant about going to bed early, waking up on time, keeping a schedule, doing my mobility, doing all of those things necessary. But if that's not what you're interested in, if all you want to do is, do fun competitions, what does that mean? Do you want to travel? Do you want to, do a similar event like Static Monsters? There's all sorts of ends to this. So I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but I just want to stress the importance of just how critical it is that you have a very specific idea of what you want in this sport. And decision, the Latin root of the word decision means to cut off all other possibilities. So when you really decide truly, it means there is nothing else left, okay? That is our only option, all right? So I just want to commit. I think a lot of people float and hover in this, kind of purgatory, for lack of a better word, of what they want to achieve. And that keeps them not getting any better. You're spreading your focuses around all over the place. And this, of course, is so true with anything else in life. If you want to make $1 million, you may have 50 different ideas in your head that you think are all good, but you need to really sharpen in and lock down on one thing and do it to the absolute best. You need to make that decision that this is the thing I'm going to do, and then cut off all other options. All right. This is true for what you want with your family, what type of partner you want to have, the type of house you want to have, the type of lifestyle you want to have. You got to fix on it as your North Star and keep charging to it no matter what. But here's another reason why this is so important, is it gets you motivated, man. It gets you really excited to get up and do all the things that you have to do that a lot of people just think are normal chores, right? So I'm at this place now where I have about 4 months to go until my third OSG. I'm already registered. I'm already signed up. And I've got a lot of things that I should be doing in order to show up at my best, right? So when we have this decision about where we want to go, now to get the most out of it, what we need to do is use all these visualization tools and tactics, mental rehearsal to feel how we want to feel in that moment down the line and feel it as if we're there right now, regularly, daily, and then we will have motivation to show up for me to go to sleep early, to do all of my fucking daily steps I did not want to do today, to get out early and get some sunlight in my eyes and get moving the second I woke up this morning. Didn't feel good, didn't sleep well, but like I have a goal. I know how I want to feel. I know where I want to end up. So I'm just going to do it. Okay. It just gets rid of any question about what should I do. And I know what it is I need to do, but it's not even a fucking chore anymore. It's just part of the routine. Right. So that's really just something that's been on my mind. I think people in general don't have direction for a lot of the things that they're doing, especially in strongman. So for me, I've been talking about OSG for me. That's my route. But, I see this coming at some point in time where I want to experience some different things. I want to eventually go to the FE4 Power Week. I want to possibly get into some bigger international shows, some invite stuff like that Eisenhart that just happened where Thor pulled the 505. So I will have to make a decision once I am beyond OSG, or maybe I want to do the Arnold one day. I have to find my path that will allow me to get there, right? If you're somebody that wants to do the Arnold, that comes with a very specific set of things that you have to do, such as going to a Strongman Corp regional and finishing first, all right? So you got all of these things that line up for you for your path that you know what to do. Just simple stuff, and I think people, when I talk about things like this, I think people are like, okay, yeah, I got it, like understood, heard. But most people don't actually fully commit. I've been thinking about this thing. I've been calling it mid-pack syndrome in my head. Mid-pack syndrome. That's the syndrome you have when you're training so hard, but you just can't seem to finish somewhere near the top. And I'm totally just obsessed with this idea of why aren't people doing this to the best of their abilities? If you're going to invest so much time, energy, and money into anything, why are you not going to hit the gas and go hard all the way? Are you scared? Do you have a low self-esteem issue? You lying to yourself about certain things? Are you not? There's all sorts of reasons. But when you commit to something, you have to go through all the trials and errors of, hey, maybe I'm not showing up to the best of my abilities. Maybe I'm not being the best version of myself that is, who I want to be. And a lot of people falter and crumble when they have to face those things. This is why vices in society and the world are so common. Name it, right? Doom scrolling on your phone, alcohol, weed, whatever it is. It's so much easier just to cope with those things than to spend time with yourself, either doing the work or just listening to yourself and the way you talk to yourself, the way you see yourself, the way you hold beliefs about the world and those around you. They're very difficult conversations. So when I'm talking about committing to something and making a decision that that's where I want to go, you're going to have those tough conversations with yourself. And just know, like, it's okay. And a lot of these things can be powered through with daily action and daily discipline. When I'm trying to finish as somebody who is the best in the world, I can have a lot of confidence when I show up to that stage because I have this huge body of work that shows that I am somebody who is worthy and capable, right? It's just that simple. We all have it within ourselves to do all of those daily disciplines. All you got to do is just show up and do it. It is simple, but it's not easy to do it over and over and over and over and over again. But hopefully it just becomes a habit. I spent a lot of time thinking about the last 5 years or so, where I've gone. I just passed the 5th year anniversary of me living in Florida, and I was a fucking fat, gross, unkempt, long hair, big beard dude up in Chicago. They used to think I was hot crap, weighed about 220, 230, zero definition in here, no veins, none of this action here, but I thought I was looking pretty good. I got my ass kicked in Strongman the only time I did it in 2019. And then I did it actually twice in 2019. Got my ass kicked twice, pretty embarrassingly. Pathetic, honestly, man. But that was kind of the start of my genesis and my journey to like admitting, like, holy crap, I actually suck at this. I think I'm like such hot crap. Like all I could really do was like deadlift. That's it. I had to have these conversations with myself. It's like, wow, you are actually not as good as you think you are. But now we're 3 years later where I really made this ultimate decision that I'm going to do this no matter what. I hire my coach. I do my mobility minimum 4 times a week. It's okay that I'm not doing it every day because I'm still doing it 4 times a week, pretty hardcore. Getting mostly good sleep every night. It's not perfect, but I'm doing pretty dang good. But that's that. So I've been rambling on and on, but that's it for tonight. I didn't really have too much. I've got like kind of a lot of things I'm working on. I got competition, Beast of the Bay, next August 16th, Saturday in Tampa, Florida. And man, it's just it's a new era for me, guys. I don't even know who I'm talking to. It looks like I got 2 guys here watching me right now. If anybody's here watching on the replay, guys, it is a new fucking time and a new era. It's a new shift, a new season. I'm so excited to, in some ways, close the door on one chapter in my life and move big time, full steam ahead into another one. Because I'm telling you, 3 years ago, I know exactly the day, the time, and the place. I remember when it happened. It was 1 week and 3 years ago from this very day right here outside of Orlando, Florida. What was happening? Let's not worry about that. But I knew then I could be one of the best in Strongman. Started showing the fuck up and apply myself. And there's other things that I've decided for myself that's coming that's going to be a big benefit, not just to me and my life, but to others in the Strongman world in a very big, impactful way. So the old me is fucking dead. Rest in peace. A new greater one is rising from the ashes. I just probably sound like some egotistical asshole spound off to you 3 people watching me right now, but I love you guys. If you're just here watching, can't wait. I really am somebody, I try my absolute hardest to show you and not tell you, even though I ramble, I do all this crap, I do these lives, tell you the things I think you should be doing. What does it matter if I'm not showing up and doing it myself? So if you think I have ever done anything cool, thank you so much, but we are just getting started, baby. Just getting started. I knew it was coming this year, and it's happening. So when I feel these things like I feel right now, this like pump and this pride and this really big energy and excitement because I know what's coming, I want you to feel that about whatever it is that you want in your fucking life too, because you can have it, and you're going to succeed faster and quicker the more excited you feel. You have to have that emotion tied in with that sharp, specific visualization. This is the Neville Goddard manifestation techniques. It's coming, and we're all going to fucking make it. All me and you 3 watching right now. If you're not aiming for the top, get the fuck off board, honestly, is how I feel about it. We're all going to the top. It can be different for everybody. The mountaintop, the North Star is different for everybody. But if you are not chasing this North Star, whatever it is for you, get off the ship, get off the train, and make room for people. Well, there's room for everybody. What am I saying? There's room for literally everybody, but figure it out. Jump on board. Let's go.